Hey guys, Tier here, and today we're going to be talking about the movie Alien Covenant. So I'm going to do a quick review on this particular movie, and I'm going to give some of my, point of views on how I felt the movie is. So hope you enjoy the content, and let's get on to it. So Alien Covenant, I would call this movie as the sequel prequel movie, mainly because this is the sequel to Prometheus and this is the prequel to the original Alien movie, which was also directed by Ridley Scott. So if you haven't seen those two movies, I do highly recommend you try and watch those and before you watch this. So at least you'll have an understanding on what exactly Alien is about. So first off, let's do a quick summary of the storyline for Alien Covenant. So don't worry, I'm not going to give out any spoilers, but I'm just going to be talking about, what format did they actually follow? Because most of the Alien movies in the Alien franchise are more or less in the same concept or in the same storyline concept. So you're not going to be surprised that these things are happening because they're pretty much structured the same way. So let's first start off. The movie started off with a colony ship that catches a radio signal by accident. So they investigated it, they deciphered it. It turns out that the recording is coming from Exhibit Shaw. So they discovered that okay, this signal is coming from a nearby habitable planet or a colony ship. So maybe why not? Let's try and investigate. And if the planet is indeed a good place to live in, then we colonize it. So that's what they did, and that's where the xenomorphs started popping up, and one person died after the other, and so on and so forth. Then afterwards, they tried to escape and tried to get back to the spaceship, and they didn't realize that they have another xenomorph that's tagging along with them. Then all hell breaks loose again in the spaceship, and they kill it. So the premise is the same. If you watch Aliens, the sequel to Alien, the idea is also the same. So it's not much of a surprise. So they didn't formulate a new concept of storyline for this. So the premise is the same, but they just added a few elements, maybe a few backstories or backgrounds on what are the origins of the alien, how the xenomorphs turned out what they are today, and whatnot. So let's talk about the good things. So first off, I have to say I have to give two thumbs up for Michael Fassbender for doing a great job as the synthetic Walter and David. But I would focus more on David because he made David feel like I'm looking at a Hannibal Lecter of Anthony Hopkins. Whenever I see that character going into the movie screen, I feel that certain level of dread of what exactly is he gonna do because his actions are quite calculated. They're very composed. You don't know what exactly is he gonna do, but you can see in his face that there's a psychopath lurking in that mind of his, and you're kind of scared of what he's gonna do to these people. Is he just gonna give him food, or is he gonna poison them with food, or is he gonna just kill them right straight off the bat? That's what I felt about his character, and I love it. So I enjoyed how he did it. And just a bit of callback, when I saw him wearing the cloak, it reminded me of his character in Assassin's Creed, as you can see in the screenshot. So I was just thinking maybe he's trying to redeem himself. I wear a cloak before, but the movie sucked, so I'm wearing a cloak now with a better movie in it. So enjoy it. Now, next, the actors in the movie were quite convincing. So I did enjoy the acting for the other characters in the movie. All of them did really well, with a few exceptions, but overall, I felt the relationships of their characters. Most of them are couples. Husband and wife. So I kind of felt that they really love each other, they really care for each other, and they're gonna do everything to help each other out. So overall, yes, their acting is quite good. Now, in terms of scenes, my most favorite scene in the movie is the backburster scene. So you've seen this in the trailers. It's way, way better when you see it in the movie itself because you're gonna feel the intensity of that particular moment. It made me feel like I want to get into that scene and try to do something to help them out. You know, Everyone's freaking out in that movie. They don't know what to do. It's so much fun to watch, and I would watch it again if I can. Maybe once the DVD is out. So next, decent xenomorph action. So there are quite a number of actions from xenomorphs. It was quite entertaining. So the white xenomorph proved to be quite formidable. And there was one scene there where the tail just, slapped the face of one of those guys and he tore his mouth off. I was like, whoa, did that just happen? It was quite, intense. And next, we find out more about Prometheus. So, good thing is we found more information. What exactly happened to Elizabeth Shaw, what happened to David, what happened to the engineers. And there was quite a bunch of story there, so I would recommend just watch it so you know what exactly happened there. Then we also find out the origins of the actual xenomorphs on the original Alien movie. So we now find out that they were created here in this specific planet and how they came to be. So that's a good thing. Now for the bad things. Now the story in itself is not really that good because I was expecting quite a number of things. After seeing the trailer, I know they're in a planet and I know they're in an engineer planet. And I was expecting to see an army of engineers fighting on xenomorphs, left and right. And I was expecting there were gonna be hundreds and thousands of xenomorphs in there, and they're fighting for their lives, what they're gonna do, how they're gonna survive. But unfortunately, we're given a genocidal synthetic maniac, which is not bad because Fassbender did a really good job, acting as the maniac. But of course, I was a bit disappointed. And next is that the characters were quite forgettable. I felt that the development of the characters weren't spot on. There were, I guess, too many people in the crew. And I know they're trying to focus more on the character of Daniels, which is here in the screenshot. I think they're trying to develop her as the next Ripley, but unfortunately, I didn't feel that. Because, the downside is that they focus too much on Aram. Aram is the captain of the ship, and he's an insecure captain, and they focus too much on him. And I do know they're trying to portray Daniels as a very strong personality like Ripley. She always tells Daniel, okay, she's supporting him in order to make Daniels perform his job well. But I think they focused on him too much. Once they started focusing on Daniels, it didn't really feel, much anymore. So at the end of the day, I didn't really feel much for the character, and even if the main character dies, I don't really care much, to be honest. And of course, the other bad thing is that they do the usual jump scares, nothing new. I was hoping they do something more, more creative, since this is a prequel type, so this is something, not on the realm of the original Alien, so they can do something way, way different here. But they just did the same thing, so a bit disappointed there. And there were quite a number of filler scenes, and one of the filler scenes that I didn't really like is the shower scene. It was not necessary, the movie can proceed without that specific scene. I would have preferred that they would have added more backstory instead of those filler scenes. They would have fleshed out more of the story of what happened to maybe Elizabeth Shaw, what exactly happened to her. Although we didn't see it in the movie itself, but I would have wanted to see, what actually happened to her. So yeah, so those are the bad things. So overall, I felt that the movie is indeed decent. If you're a fan of aliens, if you're a fan of sci-fi horror thrillers, then yes, definitely go ahead and watch it. It's a good popcorn movie for me. But overall, I would rate it a 3.5 out of 5, mainly because the story is not what I would have wanted. But it's not bad, but I was still a bit disappointed at the end. But the action scenes were there. I was bought into the movie. I was bought into the intensity, but the jump scares were, kind of expected it, so I wasn't quite scared, except for the backburster scene. So that's it for my review for Alien Covenant. So hope you enjoyed it, and if you do like the content, please do leave a like and subscribe. And if not, there's a dislike button there that you can press. Then if you want me, to do something or look into something, or you have any suggestions that you want me to do, then just leave a comment, and I'll try to look into it. So again, thanks for watching the video. Hope to see you again. Tear up.